This episode may contain explicit language. And Elizabeth has worms.
I found a worm composting class here, which they have 1 3-hour thing. I went to the University
3
of Hawaii.
hours to learn about worms? Well, I feel like I have a failure. So here goes.
Let's hear it.
Let's go.
I'm becoming that guy from middle school. Let me get a hug.
The creepy guy?
I think I'm that person at home.
My fail is similar to yours this week.
I feel better already.
You know, I'm a monster for being just as reactive as my 8-year-old daughter.
Hey, this is Care and Feeding. We're 3 friends with kids who get together every week to talk life, swap advice, and keep each other sane while we muddle through this weird and wonderful thing called parenting. I'm Lucy Lopez. I'm mother to 2 teens, Amelia, who's 15, Avery, who's 13, and we live in Miami.
I'm Elizabeth Newcamp. I'm mom to Henry, who's 13, Oliver, who's 11, and Teddy, who's 9. And we live in Honolulu, Hawaii.
I'm Zak Rosen. I am dad to Noah, who's 8, Ami, who's 5, and Yuki, the puppy, who's moaning a little bit. I'm sorry if you hear her. We are in Detroit.
We're here to talk about the ups, downs, and everything in between when it comes to parenting. And today, we're talking about our triumphs and fails of the week. And Elizabeth has worms.
Okay, really quick. We can't joke about parasites in this house because we have definitely had those in the past. It's just a whole nother episode.
So that's not what we're talking about, okay?
Yeah, today is not about butt worms. It is about, it's about earthworms.
Let's get that right.
This is a very important distinction for the story I'm about to tell
for
you.
clarifying.
All right.
Okay.
Longtime listeners might remember that in Colorado, I decided to take up vermicomposting, which is basically where you allow worms to eat your food waste. And I feel really good about this because one, I feel like one of the reasons we homeschool and I like to sort of do all of this nature stuff is that I really am trying to do what I can for the environment and like what can we control. And particularly now that we're living on an island, like trash is a huge problem. And so you can eliminate a huge part of your own household waste by composting. And vermicomposting, which uses worms, is this like it produces this really special kind of soil that has all these. You can like go watch all these videos about why it's so good for growing roots. And I love to garden, and so it's a really good way to like make your own soil so that you don't have to go out and purchase, all the soil to plant using worms. Okay. So I tried this in Colorado. I like bought a box. In Colorado, it worked great over the summer. I had this little box and you could get the soil from it all the time. But when I moved the box into the house, the worms escaped, which I think some of you may remember me talking about that. And they were like in our kitchen. It was a giant mess. So Jeff, who doesn't really like, I'll just say things without legs. Like he's not a fan of worms, snakes, anything that kind of crawls like that, was like, listen, I know this is important to you, but like, if you want to do this again, you need to be a little bit more educated about it. Fair enough. So I found a worm composting class here, which they have like everywhere. So it was like 1 kind of 3-hour thing. I went to the University of Hawaii.
3 hours to learn about worms?
Yeah. Like I went to the University of Hawaii and you come out with a box that has all your worm stuff, but you like really learn about what is happening and you make the box and you learn how to sort through it. So this is when I sent you guys all my pictures. So during this class, you get a 1/4 pound of worms. And they form a little worm ball. First of all, you should know you cannot do this with like the worms in your yard. Like you cannot dig up worms and have them eat. There's different kinds of worms. The earthworms that are in your soil that you like dig up in the yard, they aerate the soil. They do not eat your food. But the kind of worms, they kind of live, the ones that you get kind of live more on the surface. If you are in the mainland, you can actually order everything that you would need from Uncle Jim's worm farm. That's where I've always ordered from. But here in Hawaii, we can't do that. Like we can't bring in other worms. So this wonderful woman who runs Worm Ohana, which means worm family, runs this class. So I went, and there's 2 great things. So one, I like really learned what I was doing. You get like a support group. I came home with a bin, as opposed to the bin I used before where you are kind of constantly getting soil. This is kind of a once a year deal. Like I'm going to run my bin for 12 months. I can use it. It stays outside here. I feed it once a week. Like it's a great science experiment. Like this is so homeschooly. We weigh what we're putting in, like the food scraps that we're putting in each week.
You're saying you put in food scraps once a week, or you give?
Yeah, once a week. So I have a little bin in the fridge and I collect the food scraps in the bin, and then once a week I feed the worms, and we weigh it and we keep track of it on this like group website.
Lucy's starting this tomorrow. I can tell by her face.
Yes, Zach, I'm going to say, I actually thought like this is perfect because you have that beautiful garden.
We compost, but we've never done
the worm
vermiculture.
composting is amazing. I'm going to send you all the stuff because you can't give it everything. And she also taught me like how to set up a compost bin here in Hawaii that's going to work and not just sit there. Like I've had trouble with compost in the past too, like not turning, like all of this. Like it's really important here that we water our compost and our worms every day. Like a bunch of stuff I didn't know, which is why I think you should take like a class for where you are. Anyway, it's absolutely incredible. One of the things we got to do, they have a harvest party. So what happens is your quarter pound of worms is going to grow over the year as it eats food and they reproduce. And then you can eventually, like right now it's going to eat about in the next couple of weeks, like my worms are new, right? But in the next few weeks, it should start eating about 3 pounds of food waste a year. And I should be able to get up to between 5 and 10 pounds a week eventually, which would be for us, I believe, most of our food waste in the house, like in this one Rubbermaid bin. And it's really cool. You like layer it. It's all stuff you already have. It's like the first layer is just cardboard cut up and you make it really wet. And then on top of the cardboard, you actually put your worms and then you put the food like on half, then a layer of wet newspaper. And then over it, we have like kind of a blanket. But it has been this wonderful lesson for when I did it before and even now that the kids are older, because I think it really makes the kids like, one, when you're pulling all of your food waste out, and they can eat most everything. We're not doing any meat or anything in our bin just because it attracts critters and the smell is pretty terrible. So we're like mostly fruits, veggies. They do eat some grains. They can't eat like citrus peels. That is all still going in the regular compost. But like when you see the food waste coming out of your house, I think that's really meaningful. And then we were able, because we sorted through to get some of the soil, to like take home some of the soil. And when you feel this soil, it is like, everyone's like, this is crazy. It's like so silky. And so it is like unbelievable what these critters do. And I did want to share one of the things we learned, which I think, even if you don't want to do this, is really great, is called the FBI song. And I've put a link in the show notes. This is from the Banana Slug String Band. They have all these great kind of learning songs. But the FBI song is about like how stuff breaks down. And I think so often we've been taught that these are like icky because like, so F is for fungus. So we have fungus, bacteria, and invertebrates. And like, this is who is breaking down our stuff. And when we throw all of this into landfills, that really inhibits the ability for the earth to do, and all of these critters to do what they're supposed to do, which is turn all of this into new soil that then you're not worrying about like what pesticides are in here. What have I had to put in there? Like nature is going to do the thing. Oh, sorry. I'm like knocking my mic. I'm so
You're excited about the worms. I get it.
Yeah. So I'm super excited about the worms. I feel like this is something that is definitely growth. Like you have to hold the worms. You can wear gloves, but like I was just, I don't know. I really like those experiences where I'm doing something kind of out of my comfort zone. Like I've never been a person that's like very into bugs, but I just, the more I'm in the garden, the more I'm outside, the more I'm like, oh my gosh, I really like appreciate what each of these things do for our world. So I just want to encourage everyone. The kids have like loved, I mean, Jeff won't do anything with the bin, but the kids are like super excited. We've been peeling back the paper and seeing how much they're like eating already. Someone has to go out and water them every day. And we're sort of excited to like track how much food. And
yeah, that's awesome, Elizabeth.
Good for you.
Lucy's like afraid to even.
It just feels like I just want to give one more pitch for composting. There's so little we have control of, and this is like something you can truly control, and you really can do it anywhere. Like once you know what you're doing, you can have this worm bin somewhere that is cold and put it in a garage, or like there are ways that they will hibernate. There are ways, like I did a bunch of stuff wrong, which is why they escaped. Like But this is something
like
you
having
can really
worms in your kitchen.
control. Yeah, like having worms all over your kitchen. Yeah. They were dead, by the way, because when they crawl out of the soil, they're light, they can't survive. So it's not like there were live worms squiggling everywhere. But I just really think if you're like thinking, what can I, so often we think like, what can we do? This is like something that you can do, and it is very kid friendly. So anyway, check it out. If you're in Hawaii or you just want to get like kind of inspired, check out Worm Ohana. We'll link to that too. They have incredible videos, but the worms here do, she said, they're different. Like, I don't think you're watering your Detroit worms the way you need to water your Hawaii worms.
Right.
So. Anyway, our big old triumph is that we've welcomed a 1/4 pound of worm babies into our lives.
That's wild.
You should be introducing each worm at the top of the episodes. I'm Elizabeth. I have 70 worms. Hector is 6. Squiggles is 5.5 days.
That's so interesting, Elizabeth. Thank you for sharing.
No, it's so satisfying, right?
I mean, I just thought that I had to worry about that stuff when zombies took over the earth and it was like the end of the world. Like that's when I was like, oh, I should probably learn how to compost. I don't know. Maybe this is where like the Hispanic mom in me comes out, where I'm like, qué asco. No gusanos en mi casa, por favor.
But what if you, so like the way she really started this is like school. She's doing a lot of these at schools because there's so much food waste at schools, and getting the kids to like understand, and then they have soil for their garden. And I agree, like not everyone needs to be sorting through the work. Like that's not for everyone, but like if you had a community worm bin and they collected your food scraps so that they didn't go in a landfill, wouldn't you do that? Would you collect your food scraps in a bin?
You don't have to deal
bring them somewhere
with the worms. You just put your food.
Listen, I get it. I personally love the garbage disposal, and Miami-Dade County garbage trucks, man, they rock it. They're like really good. They're really good, and they're
She's gonna come to it at her own time, Elizabeth. Okay.
However, I truly believe that there are people who do things like this, like Elizabeth does, and I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I get everything Elizabeth does, but worms, I don't get it. And Elizabeth does a lot of things that a lot of people are like, what? And I'm like, I love it. This is my favorite thing about you, my friend.
Most of the things I do.
I love them all. This is the one thing that I'm like, okay, I get it.
When you come to Hawaii, I'm going to let you hold my worm babies.
When you come to Hawaii, here are my worm babies.
Come meet my worm babies. No, I mean, sorting through the worm to get the worm ball is definitely the low point in this. But I just was so interested. Like at that point, we had touched all these worms already. It was like, oh, these are just critters who can.
Are they in a patio or like in the backyard or?
So mine are just in a Rubbermaid in the backyard. They're like in a Rubbermaid tub, and we feed on half side. And yeah, I mean,
is it gonna smell eventually? I think that's my worry.
I mean, if you put meat and stuff in it, but it shouldn't smell. I mean, no worse. What are you doing? Where are your food scraps?
Huh?
Where are your food scraps? They're
in a KitchenAid garbage bag.
Right. Okay. So it can't smell any worse than that. I've got them actually out by where we keep the trash can, but mine's gone in a couple days.
Will it attract bears?
So this is what I'm saying. You have to like look. You have to know locally what's going on, but like here we have rats and things like that, and they don't get into the bins. I mean, the worms are eating them in a week. Like they're eating 3 to 5 pounds in a week of the stuff, and then it's gone. It's like soil. If you put this stuff into a landfill, there's nothing there. Like the breakdown, it takes so much longer, and it never becomes soil you can use.
It's really good. Our compost is much more basic. We keep the food waste in the freezer so it doesn't smell, and then I take it out, every couple of days or a week to the backyard and throw it in a pile with some cardboard sometimes, and it breaks down a lot slower than with the worms, but it's still.
Do you turn the pile? I've had a lot. So the regular compost that I'm setting up is going to be, she said here to set it up in like a Rubbermaid trash can with a lot of holes in it so that like clicks down, but she said I don't have to turn it. I've just had a lot of trouble with composting in other places.
I turn it, but not very often, like maybe every couple months.
For those of you that don't know, Zach has a beautiful garden in his. He has a yard and like a big space to garden, and
Detroit baby.
And if one of you hears this and decides that you too are going to vermicompost,
That's like hundreds of pounds of food waste right there. Just one of
I'll
you.
feel like I've had an even bigger triumph.
It is. You're saving Earth, Elizabeth.
Trying.
Let's be honest. Life gets messy, families fight, coworkers overstep, partners do weird stuff in bed. Luckily, Slate's advice columnists have seen it all. Sign up for the free Slate Advice newsletter and get our latest takes on sex, parenting, money, and every moral gray area in between. Plus, exclusive bonus letters delivered straight to your inbox. Subscribe now at slate.com/advice.
Well, I feel like I have a failure. So here goes.
Let's hear it.
Let's go.
I feel like I'm becoming that guy from middle school. Let me get a hug.
Who's that? Oh, like the creepy guy?
Yeah, I think I'm that person at home. Let me get a hug.
with your
Because
kids.
The reaction I'm getting from 13-year-old Avery is just like, do not touch me. And I've been
And
doing
that's
a
new.
lot.
Like she was
It's-
hugging you like up until
Yeah,
recently.
I mean, I think that stopped like at 12 years old, right? And then I just feel that 13, and she just turned 13 in December. I think it's worse. And I feel that she sees me as this like overgrown, weird person who failed third grade thrice and is now going around asking all the girls for a hug. Like that's how she looks at me.
Like cringy.
Cringe. Like, hurry up. Or stop it. I'm getting a lot of stop it. I'm getting like and then the nail on that coffin was Saturday morning. I was the first one to wake up, as I always am, and I'm making coffee and I'm really quiet downstairs. And she wakes up about half an hour after I did, so it was already like 8:30, 8:45 around there. She comes downstairs and I was surprised to see her. I'm like, look at you, bunny bear. That's what I call her. I'm like, good morning. And I went to hug her and she goes, oh, you're doing the most. And my heart exploded into a million pieces. And I said, okay. And I grabbed my coffee and I went outside, cried into my café con leche.
I was a little salty.
Super salty. And then about 20 minutes later, Gino comes outside and he's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm the give me a hug guy. I'm a creep. And then he had to remind me, this is not your fault. This is very normal for that age. I'm like, well, why didn't Amelia go through it? I'm like, because Amelia's a different child.
Amelia
Every
still
child
hugs
is-
you? Lets you hug her?
Amelia hugs me, sits on my lap, cuddles with me. Well, like if she were home right now, she'd probably walk in and do this to my face, like caress my face, and then tell me she loves me and walk away. And I melt. I'm like I'm a puddle of mush. Avery, not like that at all. And everything that I expected with the first one, like when Amelia was 13, I'm like, oh, things are about to change. Things did change for her, but like the way that she was affectionate towards me and Gino never changed. Avery is complete opposite. She won't hug me. She won't. Nope, won't. And then so that was Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon, we're playing Battleship, and we're playing old school retro Battleship, and we're having a blast. And it was me and Amelia against Gino and Avery, and Avery did something really, like, she called it. She sunk my battleship. I go, oh, you sunk my battleship. And I went to give her a high five. She's like, she gave me the no high five. And she did it like she was cutting off her head. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what is happening? And then Amelia goes, you can give me a high five. And I go, all right. And I gave her a high five. And we kind of kept it moving. And then it bothered Gino. So later that night, I heard him kind of like talking to her, but I didn't ask. And then the following morning, I asked him, like, hey, what happened there? What were you guys talking? Because I told her that what she did was rude. It's one thing to like not want to hug you, We understand there's a little neurospiciness happening with her. We get it. We understand it. On top of that, hormones. On top of that, she's 13. On top of that, everything that's going crazy. But there's, first of all, what she said to you Saturday morning was a little disrespectful. She didn't have to say that to you so early in the fucking morning. And then again at that night. And I'm just like tiptoeing around her right now, I guess is what I want to share. And I feel like that's a fail. And oh, but don't take it personal.
I'm confused how it's a fail for you, other than you feel like, because like, do you feel like you did something wrong? Like, do you want to change your behavior?
I do, because I feel like I shouldn't be approaching her with this much affection and touching.
But like, she's hormonal. You know, we're in that, you and I have talked about this. We're in that place where like, our hormones are changing too.
I'm going through puberty myself, guys.
Yeah, we're perimenopause. And so that combination in the house, right? Like, you need something, you have to get it from somewhere else. Like, I just don't feel like you did all the things. Like, you walked away, you did the, you know, like, I don't understand where your fail is. I think you can take a fail as sort of like, I don't like the way this is sitting in our house. But like, you didn't yell at her. You didn't get mad at her.
No.
You're emotional about it because it hurts you. But like, she's allowed to see that, you know?
So there's another layer to the story that I was going to keep to myself, but I feel like in your line of questioning, Elizabeth, I should share. Later that evening, right before we started playing that battleship game, I went for a walk because it was really heavy on me. The fact that Avery didn't want to like hug me or like be like, it was really bothering me all day. And the way that she said it, and I was like, I am not your best friend. And I went for a walk to kind of like not cool down. I wasn't pissed. I was very sad about it.
Yeah,
and like
you're sad. It's okay to be sad.
And I cried during my processing. Like, I cried. And I came back, and you know, when you cry, obviously it looks like you've cried. And Amelia was like, "What's wrong? What's wrong? Why are you crying?" I'm like, "I'm not crying. It's like 3 different seasons here in Miami right now. It's like in the morning it wakes up like a tornado. In the afternoon it's 60 degrees. At night it's 40. It's bonkers over here right now." And I go, it's the allergies. And she's just looking at me. She's like, "Are you sure?" And then like Avery's looking at me with this face, like, "If you even mention my name, I will cut you out of my will." And I could feel that. I could feel her. And I broke down. And I go,
but these
yeah.
are these are hormones. And I'm not saying, I think what Gino said is right. Like, I feel like I repeat to the boys a lot of times, like, you can be angry without being mean. Like that, I say, do you want to rephrase? Because you can be angry or frustrated without being mean.
So I said that.
Which is the high five thing. That's what Gino said to her, functionally.
Right. So
you don't have to, but like, you need to, like, a high five is not, I get not wanting to hug, I get, right? But like, come on, a high five or a knuckles or something is like the bare minimum.
Right. And then before we played this game, I had said, "Look, Amelia," like, I got kind of annoyed. I'm like, "Amelia, can you, I said, "Amelia, please stop asking me because I don't want to talk about it. I'm obviously trying to get around your questioning. Can we just move on?" And then she got upset. She was like, "What's wrong?" Like, now I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm still holding on to your sister telling me I'm doing the most. And then Avery was like, "'Cause you were. I wasn't ready for a hug this morning." And I'm just like, okay, I got that. Message received. But in the way that she says it, I'm sorry, it's like a little mean. And I told her
so
that.
I think that's what you need to prepare your response for that. For like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you going to say the next time? Because she's going to do it again.
She did it again this morning.
And like, she's allowed to do, like, this is, I don't know. I always think we need like badges for our teens because like, she's supposed to be pulling away.
I know that. And I understand that. And I know that it has nothing to do with me and it's nothing that I did. It's just that she's in that moment. However, I feel like I'm failing because in one breath, I'm like, yeah, I did the right thing. I walked away and reminded myself it has nothing to do with me. And then 6 hours later, I'm like calling her to the backyard and telling her, take off your hoop earrings. I'm gonna kick your ass. Like, I have these two extremes. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where I'm failing, where I have to stick to one. I can't be both. I have to be one. And I gotta remind myself, like, I'm sorry, and I'm about to use some language. But these little bitches try me sometimes. And I'm
Yes,
just like,
yes.
stop, don't fucking try me because I'm not trying you. And also, you don't want that side of me to come out. Like, I know all the words to every little Kim song created. Like, I'm gonna knock a bitch out. But this is very unparent like of me, but that's how I felt. So instead of saying all that, opposite. I chill. I'm like, okay, it's not my fault. You on top of being a little neurospicy, you're also hormonal. Let me walk
You
away.
need to decide what you're going to do the next time it happens, right? Because, like, on one hand, I feel like you should keep offering. Like, that's what parents are supposed to do. Like, you could, not that you
Yeah.
have to offer a hug, but like one day she's going to say yes again, or one day she's going to come to you. Want her to know that that door is never closed.
Right.
But on the other hand, you also know that when you offer tomorrow, she's going to reject you. So are you going to like give yourself a hug? Are you going to be like, okay, like another day? Like what thing are you going to tell yourself so that you don't spiral? Like, how do you both prepare and be open? And this is the hard part about parenting. And again, I feel like you don't give yourself enough grace for like the hormones that are rushing through your system.
No, you guys, I cried all day, all Saturday because of this one thing that she said to me. And I mean, I've got pretty thick skin, but when it comes to my kids, all that goes out the window. I do not have thick skin.
Thick skin is overrated.
I think that's called love.
Is it, Zach? Tell me, because you hear what you just said something and you're saying it. I don't know if you're saying it joking, but I really agree with that, man. I'm like, I'm tired of having thick skin.
Yeah. You can be vulnerable and you can be raw, but it doesn't mean that you have to, to process it in front of her. And you didn't. I mean, I think we got to play the long game. Like these teens, she might not want to hug you for a while.
Oh, I know that, Zach.
No, pero she's going to be coming back with arms wide open, not trying to be that Creed song. With arms wide open. No, but in like 10 years though.
Or like when she gets dumped, or when she and all she wants is mom.
But all I'm trying to say is this is none of this is fixed. It's all changing, and so like this version of her, just like this version of you, it's not just gonna always be like this. And yeah, I mean my fail is similar to yours this week, where I
feel better already.
Yeah, I failed. I failed at breakfast the other day.
What happened?
Where I did something that you didn't do. You had the composure and the wherewithal to go outside, but I instead, Noah's like finger got jammed by Ami's chair at the breakfast table, and she like flipped out on him, and she just like screamed, and she's like, "What?" Like she really just kind of overdid it. She was hurt, which is valid because her finger hurt, but he was like, it was clearly an accident. And instead of kind of validating her literal pain in the moment, I matched her tone and was like, do not speak to him like that. And like kind of defended him immediately, which was like, and which made her think like, I'm the one who's hurt here. Why are you defending him? And I should have had that conversation with her after verifying with her that she was okay. But instead, I kind of, and it's something that I've been noticing myself doing, is I defend the little guy because, she's the older sister, and I've sometimes kind of come to his defense more than I should. And yeah, it was, I was just like, Noah, go. And, I told her to like move to the other side of the table because I didn't want her to like lash out at him. And then she runs upstairs screaming and crying. And, I'm a monster for being just as reactive as my 8-year-old daughter. Like she's going to be reactive. She's 8. I need to take a beat and,
go for a walk.
Yeah. And just be like, are you okay? And then talk about how, it was an accident and you didn't need to flip out on him like that later on once she's calmed down. But, hearing kind of some loud screaming so early in the morning just kind of,
triggers, right?
It triggered me, and I should have gone outside. Should have gone outside and cried into my coffee.
I feel bad because I get what you're saying. Like, it's just like you have these moments where, like, I want to be not my true self in front of. I don't want to say that either. It's more like you just want to be like, what the fuck, you know? And sometimes I wish I could just do that. Like, what the fuck? But you can't. You have to.
You mean to them?
Yes.
Yeah.
And cool down and then come back and assess the situation.
I did.
Right?
I did what the fuck, and it did not help.
Yeah.
And then, Shira's upstairs consoling her, and she comes down. No, she doesn't even come down. Shira comes down as the messenger, and she's like, Noah wanted me to tell you, and this broke my heart even more. Noah wanted me to tell you, like, I'm still working on it. I'm still working on.
Oh my God.
So,
like,
taking
me
the
too.
high road.
Yeah, she was taking the high road, and Daddy took the low road, and that made it so much harder. But I mean, it just clarified how wrong I was, and I was able to apologize to her like 5 minutes later, and we worked it out. But still, it's like,
we're not supposed to
gotta
have
take
it
that
right all the
breath.
time either, though. Like, I think the standard of perfection for us isn't right either.
No, but
right?
no, we're not trying to be perfect all the time. However, like, rage is something that we can calibrate. It takes practice.
Yeah,
and like we're
for
gonna mess
sure.
up sometimes,
I
like
mean,
I did. But
those what I call crazy train moments, right? Like, you got on instead of being like, okay, whoa, like, it was an accident, but also you're hurt. Like wow, there's a lot of feelings here. Like, I think in those moments, like, calling it as you see it. But like, we get overstimulated too.
Remember when I said that, okay, she didn't return the high five? Remember? When she left me hanging, like my arm went like this, and she just went this Gen Z stare of like, what's happening? Like I'm covered in slime or something.
You're also giving her a little bit what she wants.
I know. Can I tell you? So as that happened, in my mind, I'm imagining myself as a cougar, like a leopard, like a Florida panther, not a hockey player, but like the actual animal, just lunging at her and shaking her and going, what the fuck is your problem? But I didn't. And I was proud of myself. I could feel my blood pressure. Remember in the episode of The Office where Dwight Schrute says he can control his cholesterol? He's like literally like, oh, it's high. Oh, it's like, that's what I'm doing with my blood pressure in those moments. And Amelia is literally next to me going, I'll give you a high five. I'm like, yeah, shh. And I keep playing, whatever. Won't look at Avery. If not, I'm going to cry. I'm not going to get mad. I'm going to cry. Like these two people that have come out of my vagina have so much control over my emotions. It's fucking insane. If you people think that this stops after they're 10 months old, it continues.
Yeah, I'd say it's worse, right? Like they have so much more control.
It's worse.
But also I think, like, I hear, Lucy, you saying, like, you're upset that you feel this way.
I do.
I guess what I'm saying is you need grace because some of this is your hormonal changes too.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Like, this is also, like, we're of an age where this is what is happening.
Speaking of, Alexa, set AC to 72. So fucking hot.
I've set the AC to 72 degrees.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
So I just think, like, I want you to have a place where you can be like, I honor that I feel like this because I love these children so fiercely. And I feel like this because, like, I've lived a long life and, like, my hormones are changing. And this, like, doesn't speak to me as a bad parent or as a bad, like,
I know.
Like, yes, I wish that I weren't bothered by this, but I am, and that's real, right? And if she did this to someone else and they were upset, that would have real consequences,
You're right.
So I think, like, you need to decide when the next time she doesn't give a high five and you give one, you can be like, oh man, that's like, that stings, or that doesn't feel great. Like, I feel like some feedback that you could give her that's not like,
I've tried that, Elizabeth, and I get the most epic.
Yes,
most
of course.
perfect,
She's not, you can't change her behavior. She's a teen.
Curate. Do you understand what I mean by curated, epic,
yes.
perfect eye roll I've ever
she's
seen
practicing.
A human being? It is perfect. And she looks at me, and half of me is like, I'm in love with her, and the other half of me is like, I'm going to murder you in your sleep.
I think that's where you're supposed to be.
Between murderous mother and loving mother.
And that's why you have your friends to tweet to. Like, I feel like this is why I text friends. Like, okay, well, I'm the worst mom today because I did whatever, you know. And then later when she's sitting curled on your lap and you're like rubbing her hair, you get to look at Gino and mouth like, what the fuck? That is the kids will be, I feel like the boy energy in my house is a little bit different, but because it just seems to swing so much quicker. Like, Henry will be very angry about something with me or like dismiss me. And then a few seconds later, like wants to sit in my lap. And I feel like I'm holding him and I'm just like, I'm still hurt.
Yes.
Like we are. But also like, I'm glad that he knows he can come back here, you know? And like, I do say to him later, like, hey, when you said that stuff, it was mean and my feelings were hurt, but I still love you, you know?
I feel like we need to just cleanse ourselves of these fails with a solid triumph from a listener. This came from our community over on the Facebook parenting page. Megan wrote to us, I have a triumph. Doing the post-holiday clean out of toys, told my 9-year-old that we need to declutter some stuff. We are swimming in Paw Patrol toys, and she has willingly said, yes, these can go to other kids who like Paw Patrol. It's the end of an era for reals, but I'm so glad she's able to say, I don't need these anymore. And I don't need to sneak these toys out of the house. Happy New Year, everyone. Megan, what a great triumph.
What a victory.
Megan,
that is maturity.
I love it.
Teach us.
I love it so
Teach
much.
us your ways, Megan.
You know where to find us. You can email us at KarenFeedingPod@slate.com. You can come find us in the Slate Parenting Facebook group, or you can ring us up at 646-357-9318. And that's our show. Subscribe, leave a rating, a review, tell all your amigos, tell everybody. If you want more parenting advice, you can find Karen Feeding the column on slate.com. This episode of Care and Feeding is produced by Cheyna Roth. Micah Phillips is our video producer. Mia Lobel is executive director of podcast for Slate, and Ben Richmond is senior director of podcast operation. For Zak Rosen and Elizabeth Newcamp, I'm Lucy Lopez. Thank you for listening.
If you want more no-nonsense advice about parenting, relationships, money, and everything else life throws your way, sign up for the Slate Advice newsletter. A special thanks to our Slate Plus members. If you haven't already, consider joining. Slate Plus members get unlimited access to all of Slate's journalism and help support our independent reporting.